What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke, episode 235. We're going to go over that amazing Collingwood girls win against the Kangaroos. So let's just get straight into it. Just before we do jump straight into it, of course, follow me on all my social media accounts that will be popping up down below. If you are a new Swooper, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you are a returning Swooper, welcome back. Thank you so much for rejoining me. So now let's get into this review. So, our girls, we know they lost to Adelaide in the last round, so they had to play, they dropped out of the top two. They had to play the first week of finals, and you know, as all poetry is, this was well written because we've played the Kangaroos. And cast your minds back to 2020 before the AFLW season was cancelled. We versed the Roos in a thriller again, and we went down by 2 points. So it was time to exact our revenge, and in the first quarter, that's exactly what was happening. Our girls just put on a few goals, and just they looked like that we were going to storm away with the win, but not even just like by, you know, a couple of goals. It looked like we were going to win by 30, 40 points. We were just playing really scintillating football, good run. Our forwards were working really well. Our backs were holding up. But then, as is, you know, typical Collingwood fashion for the men's and for the girls in a couple of games this season, it just fell apart in that second quarter and, you know, most of the third as well, where the Kangaroos just piled on 5 unanswered goals. And it looked like we were just shell-shocked. The umpires weren't going our way. And I'm not blaming, you know, we were losing because of the umpires. But no, you know, 50-50 decisions weren't going our way. We were fumbling, making mistakes, not making the right decisions. Getting it into our forward line, the Kangaroos were just getting it straight back out. Whenever the Kangaroos went up into their forward 50, they were looking very dangerous and looking like they could score a goal that whole time. Whereas we just struggled, you know, in the second and some of the third as well, to get it even up to our 50 because the Kangaroos just had an absolute stranglehold on us. In that fourth quarter, though, or going into that fourth quarter at least, we were 14 points down, and not you weren't riding us off, but you were kind of just like, far out, it is going to take some sort of footy finals miracle at Vic Park for us to overcome this. You know, after not being able to kick a big bag in the second and the third quarter and just letting the Roos get that momentum into that last quarter. But lo and behold, our girls just pulled one out. They pulled a rabbit out of the magician's hat because we had a 14-point deficit. We turned it into a 20-point gain, and we won by 6 points. And it was just absolutely amazing. It was scenes. It was scenes in the Sharon stand where I was behind the cheer squad and stuff like that. And it was just absolutely surreal. Like, finals footy in April is crazy. And to see the Collingwood girls be able to pull something like that off, the never say die spirit, being so far down, finishing off a game, closing the game, you know, it was a win for the ages. Our first finals win in Vic Park for decades, I would assume. You know, probably not since the 90s, but absolutely crazy. And it was so good just being there. Just props to the girls. They played their heart out. First, in that first quarter to set us up. Yes, we kind of dropped in the second and third, but that fourth quarter, it just epitomized what this team has been and what this team can be for the rest of the season. So my likes. Let's start it off with Bree Davey. 31 disposals, 9 tackles, best on ground. How many times do I have to say that she is the best Collingwood trade acquisition in the last 10 or so years? Absolutely nuts that we got her, you know, from Carlton as a captain and stuff. And I'll say this till the cows come home. But she played a finals to remember, and that form is going to go a long way in hopefully bringing the cup home. Just love the way Brie goes about it. And 9 tackles is just absurd, you know, with 30 plus disposals as well. Another one of the girls that I loved, Stacey Livingston, 10 intercept possessions. Crazy good how reliable she has been in the back. And not only is she taking intercept marks, she is taking the game on. She is setting the game up from, you know, half back, you know, taking kickouts and stuff like that. And it's so good that she's with us and not, you know, against us, because we wouldn't be able to put as many goals as we have put this season if we were coming up against Stacey. My third like, Ash Brazel. So, she came back from that ACL and she's been slowly getting into it. It was really weird because in the first quarter, and I'm pretty sure for most of the second, she stayed up forward. And I can see why. She can take a good mark. She can kick a goal. So you can see why they just wanted that dynamicism. Is that a word? Dynamicism? It is now. I'm probably not even saying it right. With, Chloe there as well. And I think Bella Smith was there maybe. But obviously Sophie Alexander as well. So I can see why Steve and the coaches put her into the forward line. But her best position is in the back line, I feel, because, I was talking with a couple of fans and stuff there. It's like Darcy Moore, with the intercept possessions, and she just was going, sometimes she was going back with the flight of the ball, taking a mark, counter attacking, chopping off any sort of kangaroo attack that was happening in the third and the fourth quarter, and her presence down back went a long way to us winning this game. Also, just quickly, Tanya Brown's match-winning goal after her brain fade, kicking an awesome goal, but, an on goal pretty much in I think the second or the third quarter. But, it came full circle and she kicked the match-winning goal. So that was amazing. Dislikes, of course, the second and third quarter, letting the Kangaroos get 5 unanswered goals. And you could see that they had that momentum and they could have run away with the match. But we dug our heels in and we won. There wasn't really much to dislike about the game, except for the fact, that we played so good in that first quarter and only woke up in the last quarter. Something that we definitely have to work on if we're to verse and beat Brisbane next week. So what happens now? We verse the Brisbane Lions up at the Gabba. Hopefully, if COVID doesn't get in the way, it's going to be interesting because a couple weeks ago we versed Brisbane. It was our first loss of the season. We went down by, I think it was less than a goal. I think it was 4 points. So we can match it with them. God, we're a really good side. Yesterday showed that we were a really good side. I think we'll knock off Brisbane. Not easily. It's going to be hard. But I think we can knock off Brisbane, especially doing it at the Gabba. Backs against the wall. Brisbane are going to go in as favourites. They're a really good side. They finished top 2 for a reason. So it's going to be on Saturday. I think it's at 5:40. So before the Collingwood GWS game, the men's game. So that'll be really interesting. Watch it. Get to a TV. Watch it if you can. Support the girls because they are doing absolutely amazing things. And God, it's coming home. I can feel it in my gut. It's coming home. But anyway, Swoopers, thank you so much for joining me. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, and tell your pets. Until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.
Ooh la la.